In the world of martial arts films, few names ring as strongly as Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee. Their legacies as two of the greatest figures in martial arts history are well cemented, and their impact still inspires generations. Chuck Norris has recently spoken some interesting words about Bruce Lee, revealing something about their relationship and how Lee influenced his life and career. Carlos Ray, also known by the alias Chuck Norris, was born on March 10, 1940. His childhood was difficult. He was shy, not sporty, and average academically. His father, Ray, was an alcoholic and worked intermittently as a mechanic, leaving the family financially struggling. This was the environment that helped develop Norris's introverted personality, a characteristic that stayed with him during childhood. Norris entered the United States Air Force in 1958. Serving as an air policeman at Osan Air Base in South Korea. It was here that he was given the nickname Chuck and started down the path of martial arts, studying Tang Soo Do. It would culminate in him attaining black belts and developing his own martial arts system, Chun Kuk Do, or Universal Way. When he returned to the United States, Norris resumed service at March Air Force Base in California. Following his discharge in August 1962, he applied to join the police force in Torrance, California. While his application was being processed, he chose to establish a martial arts studio, a choice that would define the course of his career. Norris started competing in martial arts competitions, experiencing setbacks in the early years. He lost his initial 2 contests to Joe Louis and Alan Steen, and subsequently lost to Tony Tulliner at the International Karate Championships. By 1967, however, Norris had perfected his craft, beating strong opponents such as Vic Moore. On June 3, 1967, he emerged victorious at the Tournament of Karate, beating 7 opponents, culminating in a final bout against Skipper Mullins. Later in the month, he was championed at S. Henry Cho's All-American Karate Championship at Madison Square Garden, defeating Joe Louis in the final. At this time, Norris split his competitive career with employment at Northrop Corporation and the growth of his chain of karate schools. His official website cites a number of high-profile celebrity clients, including Steve McQueen, Chad McQueen, Bob Barker, Priscilla Presley, Donny Osmond, and Marie Osmond. By the early part of 1968, Norris had the 10th and last loss of his professional career in a surprise decision to Louis Delgado. But on November 24, 1968, he gained revenge and won the professional middleweight karate champion belt, which he would retain for 6 straight years. "I taught for 15 years, yeah. I was the world champion from 68 to 74, Norris proudly declared. On April 1, 1971, he successfully defended his All-American Karate Championship during a round-robin tournament at the Karate Tournament of Champions of North America. He repeated his All-American Karate Championship victory later that year, his last tournament, and retired undefeated. Norris's path would soon cross with that of Bruce Lee, a man who would greatly change his life. The two met initially in 1968 during a karate tournament, where they immediately became friends and had a working relationship. Lee was at that time becoming famous with his television show, The Green Hornet. They grew closer as they spent more time training in Norris's backyard, honing techniques and fitness. Lee summoned Norris back to Hong Kong in 1972 with an invitation to act in a movie together. He asked Norris to be his opponent in the classic film, The Way of the Dragon. This would not only cement their friendship, but also produce one of the greatest fight scenes in the history of cinema. Bruce Lee, Lee Jun Fan, was born in San Francisco, California, on November 27, 1940. As one of the greatest martial artists and cultural icons in history, he is best remembered for his life, even though it was short-lived. He died on July 20, 1973, at age 32, but his accomplishments and philosophy have left a lasting legacy that inspires millions around the globe. Lee's life started in Hong Kong, where his family migrated in 1941. At the age of 6, he worked as a child actor, acting in close to 20 Chinese movies and exhibiting natural charm. At the same time, he took up dance studies and training in the Wing Chun branch of Kung Fu, forming the base of his martial arts abilities. In 1959, Lee traveled to America and enrolled in the University of Washington, where he started teaching martial arts. His new style blended traditional methods with his own philosophy, ultimately developing what he termed Jeet Kune Do, or the way of the intercepting fist. Lee's initial big venture into American media was as Kato, the acrobatic sidekick on The Green Hornet. Although his character became well known, Hollywood had few roles for Asian actors, so Lee went back to Hong Kong in the early 1970s. He also became an overnight sensation there with action movies like The Big Boss and The Way of the Dragon, which he wrote, directed, and acted in. The latter included the now legendary fight between Lee and Chuck Norris, one that is still remembered in the history of martial arts films. Bruce Lee versus Chuck Norris in The Way of the Dragon is one of the most renowned confrontations in the history of martial arts films. Their fight that lasted nearly 10 minutes with actual physical contact is best known as one of the greatest and most action-packed fight scenes ever filmed. Norris was cast as the villain, Colt, a brawler who was employed to fight Lee's character in a high-risk one-on-one battle in the Colosseum of Rome. Although having little dialogue and only appearing in the last scenes of the film, Norris was second billed, which indicates the importance of his character. Not only was the fight scene a demonstration of martial arts abilities, but it was a testament to the chemistry and respect of the two fighters. Norris has been questioned repeatedly throughout the years about his relationship with Bruce Lee. He has always complimented Lee's speed and skill, admitting to the influence Lee had on his career. Though they trained together, Norris has been reluctant to go into great detail about their sparring sessions, claiming that they were never fierce enough to be a real fight. There have been rumors of a clandestine, full-contact bout between the two, but Norris has scoffed at these rumors, stressing that their friendship was founded on mutual respect and admiration. The brawl in The Way of the Dragon is still a cinematic classic, displaying the raw talent and ferocity of both martial artists. The argument about whether Bruce Lee or Chuck Norris would emerge victorious in an imaginary battle between the two has remained popular among martial arts fans. The two men were born in 1940 and were following similar career paths until Lee's untimely death in 1973. Bruce Lee started off by making action-filled martial arts popular, while Norris became a household name by starring in action movies and TV shows. Lee's revolutionary style of martial arts, as seen in his development of Jeet Kune Do, was all about flexibility and speed. He conditioned not just his body, but his mind as well, and hence became one of the fastest and most agile fighters of his era. His initial public bout was during his youth in Hong Kong, where he surprised everyone by beating the then champion in a boxing competition. Conversely, Chuck Norris's professional career lasted for approximately a decade, during which he won many titles and awards. He was the world professional middleweight karate champion and retired as the undefeated professional full-contact middleweight champion. Norris's power, technical ability, and experience in full-contact karate made him a strong competitor. While some contend that Norris would be the winner based on his competitive history, others think that Lee's quickness and versatility would make him the winner. The argument is still ongoing, and both fighters have special skill sets that could balance each other out. Reflecting on their careers, Chuck Norris has spoken highly of Bruce Lee. In an old interview that has surfaced, he spoke about their time together, saying, "I enjoyed working with Bruce Lee in the film. It was a lot of fun. The fight scene is considered the classic martial arts fight scene of all time." Norris has frequently spoken about Lee's phenomenal speed and technique, admitting the influence Lee had on his career. The fight scene in The Way of the Dragon was more than a visual treat. It was a testament to the friendship and respect that the two martial artists shared. Norris has narrated stories of their training sessions, praising Lee's unmatched speed and accuracy. Regardless of the rumors of competition, their friendship was based on mutual respect and love for martial arts. Aside from his career success, Chuck Norris's private life has been just as captivating. Although everything is known about his career, his relationships have tended to stay out of the limelight. Norris and Diane Holchek started their journey together in high school when they were boyfriend and girlfriend. They wed in December 1958, starting a union that would endure the inevitable ups and downs of life. The legacies of Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee continue to resonate in the world of martial arts and beyond. Their contributions to the genre have left an indelible mark, inspiring countless individuals to pursue their passion for martial arts. The debate over who would win in a hypothetical fight between the two remains unresolved, but what is clear is the mutual respect and admiration they held for each other. As we look back on their paths, we are reminded of the strength of friendship, commitment, and striving for greatness. Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee were perhaps brutal rivals on screen, but off-screen, they were friends and training partners united by a deep bond created by their passion for martial arts. Their tales act as a guarantee of the timelessness of their legacies and challenge future generations to adopt the art of battle and the ideology of brotherhood. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for upcoming videos.